Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are breaking down everything that you need to know to create a $1 million marketing strategy for your brand. My goal is to give you all of the information that you need so at the end of this video, you are confident in your plan, scaling your business from 6 to 7 figures. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you are returning, this is a bit of a different format for you. We're doing very FaceTime vibes. I've got my little outline written down in my notebook. So we're just gonna sit and chat. This will be a little bit more FaceTime energy than my other videos where I'm just sitting here telling you what you need to know to scale your business to 7 figures. Let's get into it. Leave a like for Ollie when he looks up into the camera. One of the most important things for you to know as you grow your business from 6 to 7 figures is that your marketing needs to change and evolve, meaning what you did to market your business to get you to 6 figures will not work getting you to 7 figures. So because you have a bigger revenue goal, you need to have a different marketing strategy to support that. And so with that in mind, I thought it would be helpful to review some of the differences between a 6-figure and a 7-figure marketing plan. The difference is really complexity, but when you're marketing a 6-figure business, generally speaking, things will be a lot more simple for you than when you are trying to scale from 6 to 7 figures. So when you're marketing a 6-figure business, you need one ideal customer, one offer and one customer that you're trying to sell to. Generally speaking, you'll have one marketing channel. Even if you're marketing your business on a few different channels, you're going to have one that's resulting in most of your business. You don't need a full website. I know a lot of people come out of the gate with a fully fledged website, but when you're marketing a 6-figure business, you really just need a landing page. And on the back end, you need one good email sequence. So that's everything you need for a 6-figure business. That's generally speaking, everybody's journey to 6 figures looks a little bit different. But at the end of the day, as somebody who's worked with so many brands and generated over $50 million in marketing revenue for clients, I've seen the inner workings of a lot of different businesses, and this is the most basic format to get a brand to 6 figures. So let's talk about your 7-figure marketing strategy. The first thing that you need is a value ladder. Now, when you built a 6-figure business, you had an offer. You had something that you sold, either a product or service to people. Maybe if you're a product-based business, you had a few things. But as you grow, you need to create a value ladder. Okay, great. But what is a value ladder? A value ladder is simply different offers that you provide to customers and prospects so they can move up in price point or down in price point with you, depending on what makes sense for them. So for example, in my consulting business, I started out with project-based work. Over time, I worked to systematize that into offerings. And now what I'm doing as I scale is introducing different offerings along the value ladder to expand my impact and income. So my flagship offering, Fractional CMO services, are accessible only to a certain subset of brands, usually making at least 7 figures or more. For my brands who are in the healthy 6-figure range, I offer advisory services where they can hire me to be a trusted advisor for them, and we work hand in hand on their marketing strategy, but at the end of the day, they are implementing the strategy. And something I'm introducing this year are for my brands who are trying to get to 6 figures or who are actively scaling to 7, but the time isn't right for them to hire an advisor. So my value ladder started at the top, and then I built my way down to make my services more approachable to brands of any size. But you might start the other way. Your value ladder might start from the bottom and work your way up. So maybe you have an introductory offer that people have been resonating with, and now you want to increase your impact and income by creating offers at a higher price point. And this is great for all types of businesses. Maybe you started out selling a digital product and now you want to offer higher price point courses, or maybe you want to transition into coaching to increase the amount of revenue that you're generating from your customers. Now, if this is your first time hearing of a value ladder, you may not know where to start when it comes to creating new service or product offerings to fill out your value ladder. And if this sounds like you, then I have a really easy place for you to start to get some great ideas, which is your customer reviews and actually talking to your customers. Your customers that have a great experience with you will be open and honest about ways that you can, 1, improve your existing offer, and 2, what types of services and products they would also consider purchasing from you. And this is something that I did when building out my my value ladder, since I started with the highest price point offering and built a ladder down, I paid attention to what people who could not afford my fractional CMO service said that they would like in a product. And I even do this for my freebies. So really pay attention to what your customers are saying, have conversations with them, ask them what else they would like to see you offer, and you will get so much good information. And by doing this, you won't be starting at square one. And my final piece of advice on the value ladder specifically is that each step needs to be as compelling as your core offer. So really take the time to create a new marketing plan for each offer, each rung on your value ladder, and make sure that you're positioning it correctly, you're giving it time to test. And so as you're introducing new rungs on your value ladder, make sure that you're doing one at a time and learning what makes each one successful before moving on to the next. After you have your value ladder, you need to move on to your core audience. Now, building your six-figure brand, you will refer to your core audience as your ICP. However, as you grow and scale, you'll have conversations with customers that don't fit your initial view of an ideal customer, but they're still really a great fit for your brand. And so now that you're working to scale your brand to seven figures, it's time to pay attention to each of those subsets of customers and make sure that you're speaking to them individually. So what I like to recommend here is, instead of thinking of one ideal customer, keep your one ideal customer in mind, and also keep in mind two more subsets of customers that make sense for your brand to work with. Now, just like on the value ladder, it's important that you don't introduce too many new ICPs to your brand, because you'll need to market and speak to each one of those differently. And not only will you need to speak to each one of those ICPs differently, you will also need to market to them differently. So for example, with my brand, I help entrepreneurs who are just starting out all the way up to $350 million a year brands. And I have different ICPs for people at each revenue level, because they all have different things they care about, they have different goals, and most importantly, they speak different languages. An entrepreneur who is coming to me just starting out has questions like, where is the best place to market my business? How do I grow on social media? And do I need to be running paid ads? Whereas a founder who's making 7 or 8 figures will come to me with very specific problems, and they'll use language like, I need to improve D7 ROAS by 1.5x so I can raise a seed extension. And so you can see how different the language is between an entrepreneur who is just starting out and one who is actively scaling their brand and maybe planning to sell and have an exit. And just like they speak different languages, I want to make sure that I'm speaking different languages to them. And so I would not use super technical marketing language to someone who's just starting out, because they're not familiar with it. Instead, I'll speak in their language. What you need to do is prioritize one marketing channel. You will prioritize an organic marketing channel, meaning paid ads is not right for you right now. Learn what works for your brand and then grow over time. Now that you have your value ladder and the people who it makes sense to market that value ladder to, it's time to talk about your marketing channels. Now, as you grew a six-figure business, you probably noticed that there was one channel that stood out amongst all the other channels that brought you most of your business. And so that's why a six-figure business really just needs one good marketing channel. However, as you work to scale your brand to 7 figures, you will need a few more channels. You'll need that winning channel from your six-figure brand, you will need a new channel, and then you will also need a testing channel. So let's talk about that. Your winning channel for your six-figure brand, I'm guessing it was organic, meaning you weren't paying for it, social media, meaning that they were showing up on their platform of choice and they were getting all of their clients from that one place. Now, this one channel that stands out amongst all of your other marketing channels, that is your winning channel. So write that down. Your winning channel is, for me, my winning channel in growing a six-figure brand was LinkedIn. As you work to scale your brand to 7 figures, you want to make sure that you're continuing to show up on your winning platform, because it will continue to drive results for you. But you will also need to introduce some new channels as well. And any brand that wants to aggressively scale to 7 figures, I always recommend that they introduce a paid channel as well. So that means running some Meta ads, running some LinkedIn ads, or running some Google pay-per-click ads. If you are looking to aggressively scale from 6 to 7 figures, paid ads is going to be one of the best marketing channels for you to introduce in your marketing strategy. Not only will paid ads help you create a new marketing channel, but paid ads gives you super in-depth data that you don't have from your organic channels that you can use not only to improve your paid ads, but to improve all of your marketing channels. Let's take a real life example. One of my clients right now is trying to understand what type of lead magnet they should create to connect with their ideal client. And so what we're doing is running 2 ads on Meta, one for a lead magnet that is in this direction and the other for a lead magnet that is in that direction. What we're able to do is see in real time how many people are clicking on each ad versus how many people are seeing it, meaning the click-through rate. And we're also able to see who is converting on the landing page and how much each of those conversions is costing. And so not only are we able to get these 2 offers in front of more people than we would on their organic channels, we are also able to see in real time which freebie their ideal clients are resonating with. But not only are we able to test these offers side by side, we're given so many other valuable pieces of data as far as what hooks are performing the best, what type of audience is resonating most with these ads, and we're able to use all of this to inform the marketing strategy for their other channels as well. This is my cat Tychus. He has a little spot on his leg, so he is in a cone right now. Hi, Tyche. So now you have your main marketing channel and your paid marketing channel, but you're also going to want to introduce one more, which is your testing marketing channel. This is a channel that's new to you that you think could be that next lever of growth that you're looking for, but you know it's going to take a little bit more time, energy, and effort to get it just right. And the reason that we want to have a testing channel is to make sure that we are diversifying where we are getting our customers from as our brand grows. I've worked with a lot of clients who come to me in really bad spots because their primary marketing channel stops performing and they haven't tested into new channels. And so it becomes a very severe situation where they're going to go out of business quickly if they don't fix this situation. And so you want to avoid that as you scale, which is why you are going to have 3 marketing channels as you grow a 7-figure brand. Now, this third channel could be something like an SEO strategy, it could be introducing a new marketing channel, or it could be trying something totally new, like going to events or taking speaking engagements, something that you think could be really big for your brand, but you just haven't had time to really learn what works. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, I already have more than 3 marketing channels. You know, I post on all the social media platforms and I'm running paid ads and I'm already going to events or doing in-person networking. So why do I only need 3? And this is where I want to bring in the concept of repurposing. So maybe you are showing up on multiple social media platforms. I'm currently doing this. However, anytime that you move your attention from one marketing channel to another, your other channel suffers for it. And so as you're scaling your brand, you want to make sure that you are intentionally shifting your focus between 3 core marketing platforms with more focus on your paid and organic than on your testing, and everything else that you're doing that's not working or not working yet needs to go on the back burner. And this is where something like a repurposing strategy comes in really handy, making sure that when you're creating content, you're thinking about other ways that you can expand your reach by repurposing that content to other platforms is something that you can do to keep your other channels alive while you are focusing on your core 3. Okay, so let's talk about everybody's favorite subject, which is your website. Now, I've talked to people just starting out who've spent $18,000 on a website without having a single sale. So a lot of people really like to overinvest in their website early on. When you are growing a 6-figure brand, you only need a landing page. Let me say that again. When you are growing a 6-figure brand, you only need a landing page. But as you are scaling from 6 to 7 figures, you will need a lot more than a landing page. And so this is a great time to look at your website, make sure that everything is optimized for your ideal clients, including those 2 new use cases that we introduced at the start of your strategy, and introducing some new sections on your website, including customer testimonials and reviews, including more information on your products and services, and introducing a blog blog so you can take advantage of search engine optimization. In my experience, online gurus really like to overcomplicate and oversell the importance of your website. But at the end of the day, your website is there to move your prospect from interested to taking that next step with you. And so a simple landing page works for most brands, and as you scale, you only need a couple things introduced to make sure that your website is really setting you up for success. But there's something that's even more important than your website, and that is your email list. When you are growing a six-figure brand, you only need one good email sequence to keep the people on your list warm and to occasionally send them an email. But as you scale, you're going to want to scale your commitment to email as well. And you do this in two ways: segments and flows. Segments are just groups of people who have signed up to your list that meet your different ICPs that we discussed earlier in the marketing strategy. So for me, this looks like brands who are scaling to six figures, brands who are scaling to seven figures, and brands who are already seven figures and they are looking to grow and scale. I speak to each one of these segments differently, and I have different product and service offerings for each segment, and so it makes sense to break up these people on my email list. And just like it makes sense for my brand to segment these in my email list, you're going to want to go ahead and segment out those different ICPs on your email list as well. After you do that, it's time to build out email flows for each of your segments. So let's take an example that's super simple. For your brand, you have ideal client A, and they are most in alignment with your offer A. You're going to want to create an email sequence A to support all of these prospects as they join your email list, learn about your offer, and become a customer. Now, here's the thing. You probably already have Flow A set up for your brand because offer A would be your main offer. But what you need to do is to create the same setup for your ideal client B and your ideal client C. These people will need different messaging and education around the products and services that are right for them wherever they are in their journey that you're helping them with. So maybe your offer A is a fitness program for expecting mothers, whereas your offer B is for postpartum mothers, and your offer C is for people who want to stay fit and active in between pregnancies. You can see how you're going to want to speak to each one of those segments different, and they will resonate with different offers that you have. And this is why it's so critical to have different email flows set up for each of those different ICPs in your business. But now, how do you market to somebody who's actually become a customer? Well, this is where your CRM and the lifecycle marketing comes into play. CRM, or customer relationship management, is something that you may already be familiar with, essentially a hub where all of your existing prospective customers and customers live, and you have all of the data that you need about the actions that they're taking on their journey to become a customer. You may use HubSpot or a simple spreadsheet to track this information. Customer A became a prospect on this date because they booked a discovery call, and then I sent a proposal, and then they signed, and now they have also renewed and increased their level of service. You likely already have somewhere you're tracking all of this information for your brand. As you're scaling to seven figures, it's a really good time to get it into an actual CRM to maximize the data and insights that you have on your customers. This will help you with the life cycle part of CRM and life cycle, which is essentially making sure that your customers are happy and that you're continuing to serve them and increase their customer lifetime value, meaning the number of times that they purchase with you. And ideally, you would also work to increase your average order value with your existing customers. So if somebody buys a product from you, how can you encourage them to make a larger purchase next time? When you're tracking all of this information about your existing customers, not only do you become a better marketer and offer stronger products and services to your prospective customers, but you're also able to marry all of your data with your value ladder to continue to sell more to your existing customers in a way that's very valuable to them because you know what they care most about. Lifecycle and CRM marketing is one of the biggest opportunities available to you as you scale your brand to seven figures, and it really focuses on your existing customers. But outside of that, how can you bring in more customers to your business more quickly? This is where introducing something like a prospecting initiative can be very valuable for your brand. Now, when you hear prospecting, you might think sales. And I want you to start thinking marketing, because a lot of today's smartest brands are marrying those two in a new type of marketing called growth marketing. And this is actually where my specialty was when I was in corporate. I was a growth marketer. And really, this just means taking that prospecting initiative and looking at it from a marketing lens. So when you are prospecting, you're reaching out to somebody who doesn't know about you, you're introducing your brand and your offer, and you're trying to get them to take the next step in as short of time as possible. Now, you've probably gotten a few really bad prospecting emails in your business inbox that really just look like spam. And this is what a lot of marketing gurus online teach, is just get on there and blast out a bunch of emails. But not only is this method ineffective, it's also probably illegal. Anytime that you are sending out unsolicited marketing messages, you need to pay close attention to the laws in your area. And this is actually why I have an entire podcast on the topic of why cold email is dead, specifically for those spammy emails that you're seeing in your business inbox. But just because those types of emails are ineffective and illegal doesn't mean that cold prospecting can't be for you. I prospect on LinkedIn by adding new people to my network and sending them an introduction message just saying, hey, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. However, I also know some really smart founders, including a recent podcast guest, Alex Sanfilippo, who is doing prospecting via email in a really smart way that leads with value, and it ends up converting incredibly well. So I'll leave a link to his episode down below because I really think it's worth your time to give it a listen, and I really think that cold prospecting can be a great growth unlock for your brand, especially for service providers and B2B business owners. Now, as you're building out your 7-figure marketing strategy, you're going to want to keep each one of the elements in this video in mind, because these are the things that I've seen time and time again take a brand from 6 to 7 figures and beyond. But this video barely scratches the surface on each key part of the strategy, because if I gave you all of the information that you needed to know about each of these to scale your business to 7 figures, we would be here quite literally for hours, which is why this is the first video in a 14-part series giving you the marketing tools and tactics that you need to scale your brand from 6 to 7 figures and beyond. You can watch the rest of the playlist here. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a video in the series helping you grow your brand to 7 figures.